dumpsters and stuff. So
I've had,
we could check with them on the way back.
yeah, I'd kind of like to see the town get a copy of them so they know if it keeps happening, you know what I mean, if it's repetitive and if they're gonna keep doing it, something does need to
Get done.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's his, we just could turn it over to him. I mean, it's his issue. So as long as he's got copies, we can have copies,
But I hope the town board's gonna want something done.
well,
I mean,
I'm
well,
assuming.
Huh?
That's why we did it.
Well, that's all I'm asking, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and in that same sense, you've got the same authority too, so keep that.
Well,
in mind.
you guys, yeah, but you guys said last meeting that, you know, he's writing the
No,
fines
he's-
and everything. No,
he
well,
said-
that's what you guys agreed to too.
So, but
You
you've got
guys-
the same authority too. So I mean,
Yeah,
if it goes to a point and you feel like it needs, you can.
I just don't wanna come here next time and it be where it's at then, that's all I'm saying. You know, if you're gonna do something, you know what I mean, if we're gonna do something, I think we,
Well, that's why I said. I mean, we can't fine. We can't do nothing. You and Chip can.
Uh-huh.
We can't.
uh-huh,
You know, we could just say, look at you guys and say, hey, we still have this issue. Get it done or figure something out. You know, that's all we
Yeah.
can do. So.
so maybe you guys will follow up with Chip and see what's going on, or?
Oh, yeah.
He sent me. I don't know. There's like 6 of the properties are in compliance, and then he's got responses for several others. That was the last text I got from him.
Yeah.
So.
The people on, I'm gonna call it North Street, 208 North Street, about getting a dumpster, helping them out and getting a dumpster. I don't know, I mean, I've rung it up to Brad and them and yourself, and you said maybe kind of bring it up to the meeting.
We talked about doing that
Once
before, and I'm in favor of it. If we can help somebody out,
Uh-huh.
I would love to.
And keep in mind, the next week, 10 days, if they do it within that, the dumpsters will be here. They can just haul it over and put it in those dumpsters.
The biggest thing is quite a bit to haul for, you know what I mean? And my feeling, if we could just get them a dumpster and set down there, I mean, that's
How
kind of
big
what
one they gonna need? You're gonna have to figure all that.
well,
out.
that's, you know,
Yeah.
I don't wanna go another
Oh,
30.
yeah. So I'll make a motion that we.
Who is it?
Well, I just know the address, 208 North. I mean,
Okay.
you know who
208.
that is, Kathy?
I'll make a motion that we put a dumpster down at 208 North to help out the people and
Okay.
get that cleaned up.
Okay.
Based on what size? You need to let us know what
Yeah.
size.
Based on
Yeah,
what's
and
on
it'd just be it's gonna be a big dumpster. I mean, you know, they got a lot to tear up. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And-
probably the one
Just
size
the
that
front,
they.
front roof, front porch roof, wasn't it?
Well, it's a porch and the garage. I don't know if you looked at it.
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
know about the garage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So,
Now, the one people did say something, I don't know the name, it would be down on Harrison Street, 104 Harrison. She did just tell me last night that they are gonna fix the garage, the boys gonna fix it. You know, my feeling, if we, you know, and I told her, I said, in 60 days, will you have something done? You know, 2 months, I think that's a long time, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And she acted like they would, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she was all for that, so. I mean, I guess we just, you know, I think if these people are saying they're gonna do it, that's fine, but I think we need to put a day on it. And after that day,
whatever you feel.
I mean, is
Yeah,
that wrong?
That's
No.
Yeah, and I just need you guys to help me out with Chip, because I wanna make sure he's thinking the
Well,
same
just
thing.
get with,
I've tried it, Rex, I did 2 weeks ago, and I texted him for 2 weeks, and he never did come by, okay?
Oh.
So, I tried.
Take it upon yourself.
What's that?
Take it upon
you
yourself.
can do it.
Well,
yourself.
he was pretty adamant about writing fines, so you guys understood that
Right.
too.
So,
You know,
Okay. We'll get,
So you'll
I
have
mean,
to
I
get-
don't wanna step
you'll
on
have to
no
get
one's fingers.
What size of dumpster you want and get
Uh-huh.
it to Brad.
Uh-huh. And so I just get with Brad and then get the,
tell him what size dumpster you need.
You made the motion, I'll second it, in favor.
Aye.
okay,
So then you get with him and he does all the ordering of that.
okay.
Anything else?
I think that's about it.
You said, Conservation Club, anything on the Conservation Club?
I think I can add, I mean, we can talk about it now. Me and Bree, Bree mostly, worked on a letter and it's sent to them, and we got approved for a grant to finish out the rain garden.
Good.
And finish everything with it. They are doing a workshop on June 4th.
I see that.
Yep. I don't know if someone of us need to be there. I'm waiting on her to reply. But it sounds like we're pretty much going to have that project done hopefully by the end of June.
Good.
So we got Deno to donate more river rock to where the rains kind of washed it out and stuff, which we knew it would. So once he gets that, we'll get that put in and that project should be done.
Good. Everything else good down there?
Yep.
Marshall? Oh, go ahead. You got something for him?
For Jonathan, I've had several people talk to me and say that the Conservation Club is really looking nice, around the pond especially.
It does,
So,
it,
yeah, I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you.
guys done a great job.
Marshall?
You've got reports there next to you there, yeah. We got mutual aid calls given 3, aid calls, mutual aid received 4, total service calls for the month 17, emergency calls were 5. Basically all I have.
Any questions?
Nope.
Anything on Newton County Regional Water?
This people with the ogres, they're still working with the county to, come down, but nothing final yet.
She's not here for parks. Anything on the parks that you know of? Everything good on it?
Everything's good. I mean, for now, I don't think there's anything we need to address until closer to the 4th.
The water thing on schedule for Memorial Weekend still?
The splash pad?
Splash
Should
pad.
be, should be.
Town employees, what do you got?
So the street light that we've been dealing with, I got a hold of Bill again this morning. He is going to follow up and figure out why we are not getting it done and why it has not been done.
Okay.
So hopefully that issue gets resolved pretty quick and we can get it done and over
Yeah.
with. We talked about the grant that we got through NIPSCO, the generator down at the lift station. Steve has been working down there quite a bit. He has
Oh, okay.
everything to a standstill until we get NIPSCO there to put the meter in, and once he puts the meter in, we can hook gas.
Is the generator sitting down there now?
It's down there, the
Really?
electricity's hooked to it, everything's hooked up, we're just waiting on NIPSCO to put the meter in so we can hook the gas
5,
up.
6 years?
Yes.
That thing set it.
So, and then once we do, we'll run it.
Good.
We'll see if
Yeah.
there's any issues. If there is, I'll address them at that point. If
Good.
not, we will put it in on service and it'll be good to go. I'm also having him look into, so since we're putting the generator down there, we no longer need the green one for down there unless some issue happens.
Right.
So he is going to look in to see if we can move it and put a hookup. And if the power is out for extended periods of time, we can hook it in off the sewer plant and run the entire sewer plant off of that generator.
That would be
That'd
great.
be great.
That'd be
And
great.
then also, he thinks that one of the generators that we had sitting in the shop that is a bigger generator can be moved down to here and hooked in here if we're out for an extended period of time to where we can still run operations out of here
Good.
if we need. So
Do the generators run?
they run, they work, we put tools to them, we put power to them, they work just
Good.
fine.
Good. And the old, you got the green one service.
It has not got serviced yet. I've not gotten a hold of Cooley. I'm still,
Okay.
or not Cooley, McCool.
Okay,
I'm still working on that.
okay. Need to get that done.
Yes. Yep. then the other generator down at well 3 has been serviced and is all fixed to what that thing needed fixed for.
Right. Anything else?
No, that's all I got.
You're gonna need summertime help mowing.
I don't know, at the moment we're keeping up, but I don't know what that's gonna entail later on, cause we do have projects that we're falling behind on, so if we can
Well,
find
it takes us a
someone.
month to hire somebody.
so
Yeah,
yes
so
or
if
no?
we can find someone, yes.
Okay, then
We
do
can-
whatever you gotta do, but
I don't know,
Well, she ought to put an advertisement out for 2 weeks and we'll have to interview, right?
but I want them to work during our hours,
okay.
because I wanna be able to make sure they're doing what we ask and.
But you probably ought to do it.
Yeah.
You gonna have the chipper running all this week?
Yes. Tomorrow morning, if everything goes right.
That's a big pile down there on that
I
street.
know it's
A lot of
huge
neighbors
pile.
want it gone.
It's a huge pile. Hopefully if
I'm
everything
afraid
goes
one
right.
of the new neighbors that just moved in there might set it, open it up.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Oops.
Anyway,
And you said we don't have very many potholes.
Not that I've seen, I haven't really drove and looked, but I know of 3 counting the one that you told me about.
Okay.
I can try and get that done tomorrow.
What
as well.
about, the tile that we put in last year down there? Do we need to reseed any spots or they're all good?
I think we're all good. Only one that we gotta work on is,
Buying the Farm
storage
Bureau?
units. I just gotta level that out and
Okay.
do some work down there, but I
Okay.
think other than that, we're good on seed wise.
Good.
blacktopping,
I got a hold of them, they're supposed to be coming hopefully within the next month.
are they still doing that? Ryan, do you know if they're still doing that state grant? You need to look into that next year.
Is that the community crossing?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Catlin and Goodland are feeding on that. I mean, there's a lot of towns feeding, they're getting good money from it. I know there's some places in town that could use some new streets.
I thought we didn't qualify the last time we tried.
We gotta do it right. And when I talked to him, I don't think we quite got everything we needed in there.
Okay.
There's a formula that you've gotta do, and some towns prefer to do them by themselves, some towns hire other people to do them. It's just a matter of making sure you cross all their i's and dot all their t's.
Okay.
I know that some of the local around towns got some pretty good money. So.
Is it too late for this year?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we
Yeah,
gotta do it
that
for
would
next
be-
year.
Their cash flow's already out by now. But I mean, it's already allocated.
Right, so I think it's really something we need to look into.
I would have to look again. I haven't done one in a while
Okay.
to know what the new dates are and what the new budgets are.
Okay.
I'd have to do some research on that.
You wanna go over the sewer plant stuff now?
Absolutely. Whenever you're for it.
Okay, so,
Sewer plant. I brought you guys some stuff
Okay.
to look at.
so, based on all the data that we've gone over the last 5 to 7 years, and based off of what Jonathan's been doing since the beginning of the year,
You guys don't really have a problem out there. What you had was an operator who wasn't willing to push the limits as far as he could.
Okay.
Jonathan has changed it around to what a more traditional style pond is running, where you have a raw pond and then a polishing pond. He's slowly transferring between one side to the other, which is what you would expect to see. Based on what he was able to do at the end of February through March, he dropped it down to the riprap, which I've not seen it to the riprap in I don't know how long. No, of course, I don't get called when things are going fine, so, like, I can't say that with, impunity, but, based off of what we're seeing and the numbers that he pushed through in March, which he didn't go over any of his limits. He just kind of brushed up against them a little bit, but nothing scary. He was able to discharge quite a bit. I think that maybe Nick just ran it a little more conservatively than he needed to. Just like the ag inspector said, you know, if you're gonna get a ding with pneumonia, don't get a ding in the summer. But what you've got in front of you there is a budget for us, and we do think that there's some work that needs to be done at the plant. And part of that is just doing a chlorine style system that gives you the advantage of running through the summer. You know, and Jonathan had plenty of questions for me today while we drove around and GPS'd all these manholes. And one of the things that the advantage is that during the summer, you can put out what you take in. So if you're taking in 55,000 gallons a day, you should be able to discharge 55,000 gallons a day. All year round, realistically. Except for those super cold months where it freezes up and the ammonia level gets jacked up a little bit. But during the summer, we have plenty of waves and plenty of rolling water out there today.
Well, summer, we gotta worry about E. coli and stuff,
Correct.
so this is what you're saying?
Yes, this fixes that part of the permit. You have limits for the summer stuff, and if you can do it, you have a limit for that stuff, and this will allow you to fulfill those limits. And so what it is, if you look at it, the budget's on the top. Those are ballpark figures right now. It's not 100% lying down, just because I haven't gone into the exact details of the equipment costs and stuff like that, right? But this is roughly where we think it would be. We're gonna put it in, because you would put in a chlorine line or a cleaning line at the beginning of the contact tank that's there. You gotta put the bisulfate line at the end of it, right? Cause it needs contact time throughout the tank to get there. But then it needs contact time for the bisulfate to dechlor the rest of it. So one of the things we're planning, what we're thinking is past the green maintenance building, probably 40 or 50 feet, we'll drop in a monitoring manhole where he can pull his samples from. In that amount of time, the bisulfate should do its work, and he should have, the chlorine should be okay at that. It should have had enough contact time that he can pull test and chlorine will be within limits. So there would be a manhole, that's what number one is. And then if you look through the pages as you go, I kind of drew up the different things. So the first one is kind of just a general site plan of what would happen. So off the west side of the office and lab, we do an extension to that building and do the chlorine and bisulfate room there. Then obviously as close as it is to the contact tank, those lines don't have to be very long. It doesn't take a lot to get them to where they need to be. That's one of the big benefits. You guys already have the contact tank there. It functions. So like it really doesn't need much updating or anything to that effect. It still does what it needs. Johnson's done a good job of making sure that like P.L. Anderson's already come out and put in a new effluent meter, and I think the influent meter, they did an update on it as well.
I believe we've done one recently.
Right. So it's all like those things have been updated with a new totalizer, a new thing. So there, I kind of show on the right side where approximately where it would be a little further down the line, but where that monitoring manhole would go. Then if you flip to the next page, it's just kind of a rough layout of how those pump rooms would be. Those chemical rooms would be. There's safety features that aren't listed on here that have to go into all of that as well, right? Fans, automatic lights, things like that. But you get the rough idea of what it would be. You got probably a 300-gallon container in there with a double spill protection underneath it, and then the lines would go to each one would have a dual pump system, and then those pumps would just pump directly out to the tank, and away we go. The pumps themselves would be connected to the totalizer in the lab there, and
it will take some work for him at first to kind of tune it into what chlorine, and that'll change throughout the year too, like if it's not as much sun, the chlorine doesn't burn off as quickly, or it's more effective. So there'll be a little tweaking throughout the year, but if we connect those pumps to the totalizer, they'll ramp up as he ramps up the outgoing, or if he slows it down, they'll slow down. So once he gets it to a point where, let's say it's 0.04, that he sets the pumps at 0.04 milligrams, then that would be where, like, if it ramps up, it'll pump more to keep it at that level. But that would be based off the totalizer, which comes off of the Nibio Anderson meter anyway. So
And this new meter we put in will probably cover all that.
we'll cover what?
We'll be able to do what we need.
Yeah. Actually, it shouldn't have any issues at all. We were able to get it to work in different places with the old style totalizer. So, and then out there at the last page here, and one of the last items on this page is out at the transfer station between ponds. We know that they've dipped down, but they've dipped down evenly. So they're pulling from the same location there. So it's not really too much of a concern because of how slowly they've settled out. They're probably not falling anymore. But to make sure that doesn't happen, we want to put a bunch of riprap around to stop any more erosion between. So just like anything else, right? These dikes, when they were built, they were all sheep foot and rolled in, except for right there where they had to dig between the two.
Right.
So fluid is transferring back and forth through there, and so riprap will help actually hold all that in place, and then we shouldn't see any more degradation out at that location.
Is all the valving stuff working still?
I don't know, I gotta play with those a little more.
Okay. And
That would be
I
something
think
that,
That's the reason.
yeah, one of mine, we were told several times that he only had one working valve, one system. So there's what, 4 in there?
there's 8.
Right.
Well,
4 for each.
4
way.
each side, but
Yeah.
there's 4 lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, if we just as well look at maybe replacing all the valves on
and
them.
that's fine. I can toss that in.
I think we ought to do it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna redo it all, now's the time
not
to
wanna
do
be a
that.
bad thing.
No.
I can look and see which ones are broke, but I know there are.
If you're gonna replace
It was
one,
put in
we're
in
gonna replace the other.
1979.
They've
If
probably
we're
been
gonna
there
do-
since
If we're gonna do the
79.
project, we might as well put new ones in.
Yes.
So I can add that in.
Yeah.
What that takes is we have to have someone. Well, I guess it depends on the time of year we do it. If you do it in the summer, or if we do it coming into the spring after you've been able to discharge as much as you have, you might be able to make it to each one, but you have to get a balloon, put it in there, and roll them up, right? So that there's no back and forth, and then you can pop these valves to do that.
And we should have those.
The contractor will have those too.
We used to have balloons.
But the contractor, that would be part
You
of
stick
their
them
job
in the
too.
tube and air them up. And
Yep.
They
Like
expand
blow.
and they hold, just an air plug, just for.
I'll look and see if I can find any.
we had 3 of them, I think. We had 4, 6, and 8.
So a lot of the cost of that depends on, if they've gotta have a diver who has a wetsuit that can go out into the ponds and get down to the pipes, right? I mean, that there's some cost there. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
That's a risk.
Yeah.
So, the more that we don't have to do that,
Maybe dike around it and pump it out.
so that option's been
I don't think I
explored
would
too.
want to be the diver.
The problem with that is you can't penetrate the bioliner at the bottom. So if you dike it off and you go through the clay,
Yeah.
you've now
Right.
created a problem. So
Yeah.
it turns out that the diver's the
Well, we
unfortunate
can
but
look
the
at
best way to do something like that. Again though, if you're able to get the ponds down enough and there's only one pipe and you're only ankle deep, a wader,
Yeah.
a full body wader you could walk out there enough to just drop it down and get it in. In the past, what we've used is they've had 15-foot long hoses. So the air part is up on the ground. So once it's been inserted,
Yeah.
you just air it up from there and release it from there and are able to pull it out without having to go back. So it
Right.
really is only one trip in and out, but again, it is a trip into something that's a mess, so. Anyway, and that's definitely something we can work into this, but as of right now, you're in no major problem. You guys have a decent amount of storage out there right now. The wind and the rain, or the wind and the sun have been a big help, and we've seen a lot of evaporation where he was high on one side and he's slowly going over to the other, but we're seeing a decent amount of evaporation. You guys are in pretty good shape right now. Again, I would suggest that we do some of this stuff just to give you that year-round.
Oh, yeah, and give us that year-round option.
Correct.
You betcha.
100%. Because you may end up with one of those springs where it's 2 inches every week, and you're blown, right?
Yep.
But if you can open her up in the summer, so that's what all of this got started was this immediate need or this immediate concern, and now that we've had time to go through everything and see it, these are the things that we suggest we do. Again, they don't have to be done tomorrow. They're on your schedule. So if he wants to let me know which valves, we can add that into. And we can do this. Clearly, this isn't big enough for a grant by any stretch.
No.
And I don't know that anything we would do out there would get us to that level right now.
No, we already know we can't get a grant because there's not enough. The last grant we put in for, we didn't have enough violations, enough need to show that we need, so they didn't give us the money.
Right, and you still don't have a need from item to.
Which, you know, what do? You go and get all the violations to get the money, or do we just fight and not get the violations at the end?
Right.
I mean, it's like, oh.
We'll just do it ourselves and maybe check with the county and.
So when it comes to the.
So you're at $188,000.
Yes.
Which a couple years ago, we were talking almost 500,000.
We were
Yeah.
We were closer to the million mark because we didn't have, we were rushing, right? We were told that there was an immediate problem that needed to be solved right then and there. And it turns out there's not. It just, a lot of things happen at plants where it's operational.
Right.
And if you make a few changes on the operational side, things
How's the new
adjust.
new probes and new equipment working?
Makes it much easier.
Are they reading,
More-
getting better readings?
More, I believe so.
More accuracy.
More accuracy would be the right word there.
I'd like to have Brad look at this, and if we need to call a special meeting, but I'd like to start on it as soon as
Oh, I
possible.
do too.
If we can get finances.
Yeah, and I'm.
Because once we
all
get it
for
tied down, I mean,
Yeah,
it may just be an extension of the sewer. We still got a sewer bond? Well, we can get a sewer bond.
Yeah,
If we don't have one. Becky,
You have to-
Becky can write all that legal stuff up for us on
The
that.
biggest thing I wanted to make sure is you guys knew that we weren't in an emergency.
yeah,
We're
That's-
not in an
that's-
emergency situation.
that's a big thing.
So when it comes to the rest of the utility report, Dave's working on writing all that out. That will give you, maintenance, what we would expect for you guys to see is maintenance, like, probably in the next 5-10 years at the most, we're probably gonna need to dredge again.
Right.
I think you thought you were up to about 13 inches, 12 to 13 inches. So at some point,
Okay, when you say 12, is that the sludge?
the sludge at the bottom,
Yes.
right? So at some point, that'll need to be addressed. So in the utilities report that we'll give you, the GPSing that we did today with this, we're gonna give you a new map with all the current stuff instead of all the handwritten stuff over the years through here. Those will all be in place.
Okay.
We'll give you, the maintenance of what we expect, but also future projections, like what it would take in 10 years to make sure that you go another 30 years and things like that. So that report's coming. But this was what I knew we were focused on.
Right.
And so I wanted to make sure I was here tonight to give you this. And the rest of the report I don't know exactly how Dave's gonna kick it out, but this was what I was concerned about, because I think that's what we were all.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Oh, definitely. This is total switch from what we were told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Brad.
Hello. Good.
You just missed being happy. Happy. Yeah, I think we're in the best situation we could be.
So long ways from the $1 million. I thought it was 500,000.
I'm gonna say that
The first one was a couple years ago,
but then,
then it went to $1 million.
well, because
Well,
we thought we were gonna be
Discussion
pushing,
was 750
Yeah,
last fall, and then,
right,
yeah, it went.
and then, but that's when we thought we were putting in digesters, clarifiers.
Clarifiers,
Oh,
sand filters.
Yes,
Yeah.
all those things that were going to be required,
we
which
don't,
we don't need.
So when you get done with this, are you going to be able to let us know, like, flow wise, are we over capacity, are we under capacity?
In a way, yes, there are a couple things that we are looking at doing. I know that when the ponds get high, start to get high, and the school and the town's lift stations run at the same time, the effluent channel starts to get a little heavy. It doesn't really back up until after we're to a capacity we shouldn't be, but we are looking at what it would take to put controls on one or the other that, hey, if I'm running, you're not. And if I'm not running, you feel free to run all you want. So that we would,
Well, that would make sense.
we would hold additional
when it
storage.
started, it was that way. When it started, when we first started.
Yeah,
the
in
school,
South Newton.
That's
yeah.
probably
Okay,
what
so
that
hold on a
tank is.
second.
That's probably what that
At the
tank
end of the
is.
sewer plant
It's a
lane.
pressure.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Is
That's
that
what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
That is.
There's our answer.
We opened that up, and it didn't look like it had been opened up since 1993.
Yeah.
And we definitely, that makes sense then.
Yep.
Automatic valves.
Yes.
What was
Yeah.
happening is when it felt pressure on this side,
Mhm.
yep, that makes complete sense. So essentially what we're looking at doing though is doing it now through wireless and talking, right?
Right.
The computer will just say, hey, if on your side, what our thought is, on your side, we'd rather the town hold the storage. So if it notices that the school's running, it won't run.
Right,
But if the school's not running, then it will run, so that the school would control the town, because you guys have infinitely more storage
right.
underground
Right, and what the
than
school
what the
does.
school does.
Yes,
Yeah, so, well, nursing home wouldn't put that much on, cause it's got a long ways to go.
it's got a lot of
It's
storage.
It
got
pumps,
long,
it
yeah.
pumps to the fire
Yeah, so
station,
that-
then it has to gravity
So-
the rest of the way that.
Yeah,
But that makes sense, if both ours and the school's running, it's gonna fill up, cause it's only, that fluid's
Yeah,
only
it's
that
a
wide.
3 inches wide, it's that
Yeah.
partial flume.
So if both of them are running, no wonder why it's filling up.
Yeah, but it really, based off of the charts that we're looking at, it spikes it out, but the totalizer still shows the number, so it's still reading the number.
Mhm.
It just, the more full the ponds are, the more likelihood that
It's
has a
gonna
chance of
back
up.
backing up. Correct. And so, luckily,
That's
I
what
don't
we
think.
had, that's what we had last
Correct,
fall.
correct.
yeah,
And again, that's because the ponds weren't as low as what I think we
Awesome.
could have gotten, but now they are. So again, that's one of the things that would show up in that report, like, hey, I think that this would probably benefit
Well,
during those times.
and, I mean, when we get closer together, my opinion is to go ahead and add that in. If we're gonna get a sewer bond to go on, we ought to just add that in there anyway.
Sure.
I mean,
So, yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. I think that if you're gonna do something like that,
because
Yes.
what we wanna do is we wanna make sure that those lagoons are gonna last us 30 to 40 years.
oh yeah, and
And
I don't see
even
any,
farther.
right, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, and especially if they're being run the way they are right now, I think that,
so if you
We're good shape.
can, just add that
yeah,
cost
okay,
to
yep,
this.
yep. And
Is
You
it-
okay with that?
let me know how
Brandon?
many valves,
100%.
but I would assume we would just fix all the valves. I mean,
Yeah.
even
we're
if
gonna do
one was working okay,
No,
they're just,
you replace them all.
right, cause you don't,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're gonna have a contractor there with the equipment to lower valves up and down through that
I
thing,
wouldn't wanna be the scuba diver.
it's,
And if you can have those costs,
Mhm.
have this updated, so we can make a decision on next meeting,
okay, I can work
If
on that.
possible.
if possible.
Well, the big thing is, do we have access to the school's,
Yeah.
control panel at the
Yeah.
lift
Oh, I'm
station?
sure.
Yeah.
You- All you
So,
have to do is,
oh, you didn't follow me that day.
No, no.
So,
Um,
yeah, we can.
Over the
Craig
next,
will let you know.
yeah,
oh, well, I don't specifically need to see it as much as I need to see the computer that runs it, right? So that I know what software or
what we need to put in place to do that.
So
If
we
I need to
talk
come up and
it.
get measurements and stuff, then I could do that, but if you think about it, then run out there at some point, open it up, there's probably a wiring diagram paper in there. I need a picture of that, and I need a picture of it, then I need the same thing at our lift station. And then I can see which way, what's gonna work with what, and then we can figure out a dialer device, whatever
Right.
it's gonna be, to move that to that point. So I can definitely add that in. But yeah, that was the biggest thing. I wanted you guys to know we're not in any kind of an emergency at all. And I think that was the smartest thing. To your point, Brad, when we talked months and months and months ago, though, is if we don't slow down, we're going to do something that we're going to regret in a year because we feel like we're under the gun. Worst case scenario, at that time, you were just going to get a violation, right? And I mean, yes, that stinks, but that'd be your first.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get. But by doing that, what we found is we're not near that's what we thought.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And our permit and stuff, it's still 10-to-1 dilution to the river.
Yes, but I mean, and that's standard for everybody, is the 10-to-1. The difference is the volume of water that people have to go into. A lot of towns don't get to dump directly to a river,
Right.
whereas because they don't have access to one.
And we couldn't meet that capacity with the amount
You
of
guys,
water.
you don't. It's not even possible for you guys to dump enough out there fast enough to meet that.
That's what
Dilution
the
ratio.
way, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
No, they do come close.
no, it's not.
No,
It's
you
not
can't.
even remotely close.
Still small.
So
Good.
yeah, that's not changed at all.
Good news.
Excellent.
Anything else on, any questions?
Yeah. Questions? Comments? You guys mind if I?
Let's get out.
Let's get out.
Long road, thanks.
A couple hours. So
Appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
What time did you get here this morning?
7:15.
15,
And you got all the manholes.
We got
all
all,
the manholes.
except for one. We know one. Well, we know a couple that go through a field that are buried. and
Yeah.
He's gonna have to do some cameraing to find those.
So, question, before you leave, are we gonna get an updated map for
Yes,
those?
yes.
Great.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is when
Well,
we do finish the utility
Okay.
study thing,
Mhm.
you'll get an updated map with all these GPS accurate
If we're right
locations.
and this works like we think, as I GPS like laterals, I can text him and it should show up for him.
I should be able to put them on a map the same day that he gives them to me. I mean, of course, not the same instant day, but I mean, if he texts me and says, "Hey, I just shot 50 laterals today," we just set it up so that I should be able to download that from your guys' ARC program onto one of our maps and update it right then and there. And then just put you guys a new version of it.
Good.
I'll get the water meters that way we can find them all.
Got a
think
good
only-
chunk of
like
them,
I
right?
said, I think I only got like a couple sections left to do.
Yeah,
Not
I
very
mean-
many.
They're on there.
Great.
So yeah, he and I are gonna have to work a little bit on the information exchange because what we thought we did today, I figured the numbers would come over, and so far we haven't figured out how to get the numbers over. The points are there, so I can click on it, but it doesn't tell me what it is, and we named them all today so that I would know what they are.
Yeah.
And so there's that, but
Okay.
Okay.
Well, safe trips home.
All right,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
all your work.
yep.
Yep.
Thank
Good.
you.
No problem. See you guys.
Anything else for Jonathan?
Nope.
Anything on the Veterans Memorial?
I haven't got the mulching yet, but it'll be in by Memorial Day. Question on the flowers on, I got all the pots ready and talked to everybody about flowers. I need two, we had two people, it's not gonna do it. And I haven't talked to, the insurance,
Hangers?
hanger yet, so I need another person if somebody can, and I don't even have a problem if it's private individuals.
You need his phone number. Pardon me? You need his phone number?
No, I've got it, I just haven't had time to call him.
See if he'll take care of them.
Yeah,
You still need one more then?
I still need one more.
If not, we can figure something out.
I've got, to have 2 new signs made, but the signs that we have are 4 years old. I didn't know if we'd wanna try to get them all the same for this year.
Make sure you update them, make them look good.
For everybody or just,
I
okay,
think we just update them.
okay. I'd kinda like to put like 250th anniversary, but I don't know, cause I use them more than 1 year, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Maybe we can get a couple of the pole signs, 250th anniversary.
What do you have for, what do we have for the summer for the 6 light poles?
They're just like a blue and red and white firework, and then they're just blue.
Kathy, can you look for something for the 250th anniversary or something?
I mean, yeah, cause we can update them and see if there's one that we could do that's a 2 anniversary, but still use them afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Cause those get beat up, the summer ones and the winter ones get beat up.
Oh, yeah, the wind. Okay, that's all I got for memorial.
Old business. Kitson McCumber?
The house by the marathon.
124 North Railroad. I found where Dad had requested to have the sewer capped
I knew he did.
in April of 2016, and then it showed it was off. Kitson purchased the house in December of 19. We can find nowhere where she paid anything in 2020, but then in February of 21, all of a sudden.
Did we have an
started charging her.
update on the sewer bills or something that it got?
Not then.
So what's the total that she paid?
She paid $636.95.
And she had a bill of,
$3,982.92.
so the two added together is for,
45 something.
but she, according to the ordinance, even though they reconnected it, they still gotta pay the town 500 or
Right.
cost, so they still owe 500 for the cost. So.
Correct.
I mean, it was, in my opinion, it was our error. Subtract the 500 off of that, reimburse. She shouldn't have been charged.
Right, no, she
No.
shouldn't have.
She shouldn't have been
And
charged.
I have no idea how that happened. Cause it wasn't, it started in February of, 21.
Well, anytime, computer change, anything, it could have been anything. That's, you know, we just should have caught it.
So that's about the time
Mhm.
so who knows?
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, she don't know it,
Right.
so that's my opinion, but you guys, got any comments on it?
No, I think that's a fair thing to do.
So we're paying this re-up bill for her?
Well, we would have to pay it anyway to connect it. I mean, we would have paid somebody to connect it, yeah, we would have recovered that cost from her anyway, but, you know.
It was our fault, she had to pay it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
the poor renters couldn't use the bathroom for several days, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I'll just make a motion that we take care of that bill minus the $500 tap fee.
that way we keep in line with the ordinance.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any discussion?
No?
Not, all in favor?
Aye.
New business. Letter. We got a letter. Matt and Caitlin are requesting water and sewer for, did you ever get an official address for it?
Not that I've heard. I mean,
419, it should be, cause he was 415, right? So
It'd be 419.
419, we gotta go through the county to get that, is that how do we do that?
No, we
We set it?
set it and
There you
tell
go.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I thought.
Well, you're gonna be 419, is that all right with you? That's 4 away, that's what everybody else is.
Is that a summer home, Matt?
Summer home and summer not.
Closer to the pool.
Yeah.
So a motion to, the water hookup is what? I forget what it is.
I can't remember.
Is it still 185 or cost?
I don't know.
And then I think it's like 185 or cost, and then the sewer is 500 or cost.
Yeah.
So,
Huh?
huh?
I thought that got raised.
I thought
Did it?
did.
Okay, maybe.
I thought
But I don't.
I thought it did.
You want us to look it up before we approve, or are you okay with?
Whatever it'll be, it'll be.
Okay,
Okay,
so I need a motion to approve for water and sewer hookup.
I'll make the motion, we approve Beasley's request for water and sewer at 419.
419.
East Fletcher.
East
Is it East or just Fletcher?
East Fletcher.
East Fletcher.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions, Matt? Anything else you need to?
Just, I got to talk to Jeff Snodgrass here about just keeping in touch with Kelly on what time, or what the time frame will look like. Yeah, we've got John time will be around for that. We're a ways from meeting, I believe, but.
Okay,
That's up to you guys.
Yeah.
sounds good.
I know the sewer hookup will be very similar, not almost identical, I feel like any of it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause that'll have to be a lift pump, right?
Yes.
There you go, more capacity in the sewer pump. But we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes. Not really.
The Winwood resale shop, we don't need anything on that. Any other new business?
No.
Clerk treasurer notes?
I got this, it's from Martin Enviro, and they're wanting to know if the request is submitted on behalf of the Tower Co. company to propose to construct their telecommunication. They're wanting to know if there's any historic properties that they would have to deal with out there, and I didn't think there was.
No.
And then today we got
Yes,
this,
well, is that our
So,
No,
yeah, there, so that's all just what happens now, it's a
Yeah,
done deal,
terracotta.
everything's ready to roll.
and
Yeah.
today we got this contract back, that's everything's signed, and this
Okay,
is just
good.
our copy.
Good.
And the one that Brad had recorded.
When do you foresee that happening?
Huh?
When do you foresee that happening?
Oh,
Sounds pretty quick. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
it's
know
gonna be
if
this summer.
yeah.
Build, baby, build.
And I have a bill from the Reek Family Enterprise for what they cleaned up at, what was it, 509 or something,
Oh,
Howard Street,
Howard.
420 Howard Street.
yeah.
And I just need to know where we're going.
Where we getting the dumpster money from?
Take it from there.
Yeah, we'll have to take it from landfill. How much was it?
1,500.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew that. Well, we got nothing, reserved to,
Drop her down.
So we
Take
good.
it from there.
reserve, okay.
Is that a done deal, or is there something else still going on there?
Oh, no, here,
Rebecca?
here,
I didn't know.
give that,
Yeah, he needs to read that too.
Yeah.
I did not see anything else that needed, that's what she's gonna file tomorrow, so you
Uh-huh.
need to read through that real quick and see if there's anything you wanna add, subtract.
motion to pay that out of reserve.
All in favor?
Aye.
SLFRF. I had two crazy things. They had us mixed up included in with Indianapolis.
Mhm.
And I couldn't get into the account at all. And so after they separated us,
It was
I
a mess.
still couldn't get in there.
That's some money that we got.
I still couldn't get in there, so,
Cool.
and I'm the only one that's ever been in there, so, but they wouldn't grant me access. So, but now that's fixed. And so I was working on that today, but.
Good deal. Attorney. One
I
thing we got for you is just that, right?
Yep, that's all.
I know, Rebecca, you said something to me about a month ago about the two properties.
Mhm.
And I never noted because I didn't know where Chip was at on it, so I guess the one's getting burnt, is that right?
No.
Oh, it's not now, huh?
It's getting
We'll just-
taken care of.
Oh, it changed? Yeah,
We'll leave
Yeah.
it at that.
Yeah.
well, and then, the other one, I didn't know where he's at right now, I mean, what's happened as far as his letters, or I don't know. That's why I hadn't said nothing back to you, so I guess
Okay, no
we'll
problem.
see what's.
Chip started a firestorm there.
Okay, good.
So what's happening to that other house?
We don't know yet.
We don't-
Oh,
Down by Wes's,
no, the
Chip's taking care of that.
Beatty house?
He's taking care of that.
So it's just getting tore down, or you don't know?
We'll figure it out.
Oh,
It's
I
coming
don't know.
down.
It's up to him.
It's gonna come down.
So. Any other matters? If not, we'll move the claims. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
419 East Fletcher, that comes up as Tyler Holloway's house, is that, so my in-laws are 450, it's 419, it would be further east, that makes sense, I agree, but I don't know, I typed it in, it comes up as that first house at the corner of Tess and Fletcher,
Can't be.
that would be west, so it should be, I don't know what their
But
number
it
is.
should be less than 4, it should be
Right.
30 something.
Well, he's on the south side, so he's gotta be a odd number.
Yeah,
I know, but it should be lower than 415 because that's what Kelly and Amy is.
they're 415.
So who is,
So they should be lower than.
who are you
that.
talking about?
When I type it in, I just type in
It was
419.
Sam's house.
The first house that they're Tess and Fletcher,
Can you look up that?
first one on the south side.